हमें अंजलि को कॉल लो।
A warm greetings to everyone. Myself, Sandeep Kumar, Surgeon at Arms at Professional Speakers. Welcome you all at 145th meeting of Professional Speakers meeting where eloquence meets impact. Although lockdown has still increased in some of the areas, but I believe we are still open with our thoughts, our motivation and our growth. And that is why we are here. The mission of Toastmaster Club is to provide a mutual supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth. Now it is time to invite our president on the virtual stage. Our president, Mr. Mukesh Thakur, a distinguished Toastmaster. He comes from a community that is lazy in speaking, chartered accountant, but he is very passionate and energetic from the heart. He believes that no one should be lazy in communication and derives his passion for Toastmaster from this belief. In 2009, he authored Guide to Financial Instrument published by Taxman Publications. He enjoys watching movies, traveling to new places, and playing chess. I think Mukesh Thakur will be thinking that because of lockdown, he won't be able to travel. But anyway, he's traveling from thoughts and delivered so many speeches from last few weeks. Moreover, he indulges in many adventures, including but not limited to coming to the stage frequently. A Toastmaster for more than 5 years, he is on his way to becoming a voracious reader, writer, and speaker. Please join me and put your hands together in welcoming distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh Thakur on the stage.
Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. Once I was making an entry at the security gate of Ashirwad apartment where Toastmasters Club of Dwarka used to meet. They were having their meeting there. There was a resident of the society who was curious about Toastmasters. I explained something about the Toastmasters and I then invited him. Why don't you join our meeting? Because it is happening just below your house. He said, thank you for the invite, but I have some work, huh? Wow, that means we don't have any work. That means we are doing time pass here, right? I received a message on the same evening from one of the convener of Dwarka Study Circle. And in the next day, when I reached there, I found there are 150 members present there, just on single one message. At one side, people are not trying to attend Toastmasters meeting. At other side, people are racing to attend a professional or technical seminars where they don't have to participate, just have to listen and listen and listen. That day I realized that we don't attend Toastmasters or we don't take speaking so seriously because it is not directly related to our mainstreams of life. We are yet to identify the importance of public speaking, confidence, and personal growth as the base of our success in our mainstream. Professional speaker is one of the platforms where we take professional speaking as the mainstream of our life because we know that confidence, communication, and commitment is the only reason for success in our mainstream. With this spirit in our minds, let's jump into 145th meeting of professional speakers where eloquence meets impact. We are delighted to have the presence of distinguished guests with us. And they are not only just a spectator, they are also playing some roles. So please have a huge round of applause for our distinguished guests, Haritika and Mithun. Now, being a member of professional speakers is not only a privilege, but it is also a commitment to dedicate themselves for professional speaking. Our members are dedicated, disciplined, and determined of their long-term, medium-term, and short-term goals. Hence, please encourage them as they recite their short-term goals. As I am running the slides on the screen, and as they are reciting their short-term goals and its progress in this week that just went by.
Good evening, everyone. My short-term goal have actually changed. I have changed the slide. So I have two short-term goals, which I have started in the month of May. The first one is drafting one speech per week through the act of long-form journaling. I am in the process of the first draft, and the weeks have been hectic, so I need to buck up on this action. The second one, this is a previous goal, so I've updated it to having practice delivering structured evaluations. And I'm doing this by participating more in speech evaluations and listening to others as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi, I'm Jolie Sharma, and my short-term goal is to increase my vocabulary, write a professional blog, and improve my listening skills and use zero crutch words and 2-minute speech.
Thank you, Jolie. Hello, everyone. I am Mukesh Thakur, and I have this mission of delivering 100 speeches in 100 days. I have 13 more speeches to go. It is my 88th speech today. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Raj Mehta. My short-term goals are concerning making 3 videos and writing 2 stories and practicing by reading 1 or 2 pages correctly of some literature or some novel. So as far as making up a video is concerned, I could not make any video till now in this week. I wrote a story. It was around 2,000 words, and I am regular on reading the novel. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, once again, myself Sandeep. I have 2 smart goals for this quarter, that is by end of June. One is to have the better command in English language by practicing grammar online. And second, to improve vocal variety through reading half an hour daily. As I mentioned, due to COVID, I won't be able to focus on this thing and would be focused on next month. But certainly, I practicing listening last week because to concentrate more and to improve my weaknesses. And I improved a lot and actually it increased my focus. I actually listened the Bhagavad Gita, which actually focused on listening and main awareness. And I would say the weakness which I had. That is the only thing. And certainly I would improve next month.
Thank you, Sandeep. Can we have a huge round of applause for all of our members who are putting their efforts and growing every day, not only in the meeting, but also by working outside the meeting. Now, as we were just talking about work, that if we love something, we don't have to work for any day in our rest of the lives. Oh, there is something unique about workplace that our Toastmaster of the day is bringing us and to teach us some new things about the workplace. Our Toastmaster of the day, Raj Mehta, is a visiting faculty, trainer in soft skills, and a speaker on entrepreneurship, innovation, and incubation. He is a two-time distinguished Toastmaster, a postgraduate in science and MBA in finance. Mr. Mehta has a rich work experience of 35 years in management and training in private multinational government organizations like UB Group, Thakur Group, and the Ministry of Power and Technology Transfer Officer at Foundation for Innovation and Technology Transfer and Industry Interface Unit at Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. He's fond of listening and watching birds, people, greenery, and music, etc. A progressive learner and experimenter, he strongly believes that perseverance shall take you to places. With a huge round of applause, please welcome on the stage our Toastmaster of the day, Raj Mehta, workplace, Raj Mehta.
Thank you, Mukesh Thakur, Dtm, the president of our club. When we talk about workplace, what comes into your mind? A place where we work, or it can be any place where any work can be done. Any answers?
Right. These days, in fact, from the past 1 year, it's just been my room that comes to my mind because I yearn to go to office.
Okay. So a place where you work. Earlier, it used to be your office. Earlier, for us, it used to be workly. But now we are in our drawing rooms. So workplace has changed. Has this change brought any change in our life? Can we do any work at any place? For example, can we do cooking in drawing room? Or can we fight battles in parks? So it is definitely there that for every work, workplace is also defined. How do you define the work and how do you define the workplace? Then, if there is change in the workplace, do we enjoy working there? For example, if I ask Mukesh Thakur, as an employer, do you like working from home? Mukesh,
In fact, I do like.
you do like, okay. And if I ask, say, Sandeep, who is an employee, do you like working from home?
Yes.
So for both of you, you want to say that even if there is change in the workplace, you are enjoying the same level of work enjoyment or the environment. You are not missing your friends, you are missing your having tea together or having lunch together. Are you not missing that?
Actually, I am missing only the relationships the time I spend with the colleagues and all that. But as a responsibility and duties concerned, I'm enjoying my work
So
at home.
I don't want it for the rest of my life because I want a combination of both work from home and work from office. I have felt that working from home is having more productivity.
More productivity. Okay. If I tell you my experience, as soon as we heard that from for some particular date work from home is going to start, and since we are a government organization and most of our work happens on files and with printouts, I tell you, in my office there is hardly 5 or 10% of the work which is being happening, just because this work is being done on internet only. So workplace is definitely making difference in our lives. I shall be talking more about workplace and theme, but let me first introduce the structure of the meeting. Unlike any other Toastmasters club, our club has six segments in our each and every meeting. The first segment is the business segment, which has already been done by the presiding officer, Mukesh Thakur Dtm. Second segment is the prepared speeches. Sorry. Second segment is a special segment in which one member of our club gives a speech of up to 18 minutes, and this speech is his or her expertise. Then third segment is table topic session, and fourth segment is prepared speech segment. And in fifth segment, we have a unique feature in which we invite one of the established communicator to our club to give a power talk. And the sixth segment we have evaluation. In the first segment, okay, now I shall introduce the role players. The table topic session shall be conducted by Mukesh Thakur Dtm, and general evaluation session shall be conducted by Toastmaster Sandeep Kumar. Supplementary role players include timer as Toastmaster Haritika Hauja, AHA counter as Toastmaster Mithun Gore, and grammarian as Toastmaster Anisha Gupta. I would request grammarian to kindly tell us the word of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Today, I bring to you a word that most of you know, but it's a beautiful word and I believe that it should be used more. Also, please note the pronunciation of it. So the word of the day today is epitome. It is, and I'm also posting this in the chat box. Epitome is a noun. Epitome means a typical example of something. So when we call a person or a place, it is an epitome of something. So we want to say that it is the perfect example of something. For example, my mother is an epitome of patience. Please note that it is also being done as a personification over here. That's how you use it. And please note its pronunciation as well. It is often wrongly pronounced epitome. E is not silent over here. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anisha Gupta. I would request all the members in the audience to kindly use the word of the day, epitome, as many times as possible. Moving on to the next segment, we have our member, Toastmaster Jolie Sharma, who shall be delivering a professional speech, which is a unique feature in our club because you will hardly find a speech of this much length in any club. And the purpose of having such a speech in our club is to get ourselves ready for TED speaking. Before I invite Toastmaster Jolie Sharma, a brief introduction about her. She is a product manager by profession, a nature lover and foodie by heart. She loves knowing about different people and exploring destination and cultures. Toastmaster is a way of life for her. Each and every interaction she makes, personal or professional, she feels the impact of Toastmaster everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Toastmaster Jolie Sharma with her professional speech, Agile Product Management. Agile Product Management, Toastmaster Jolie Sharma.
Thank you. Just let me know if you guys are able to see my screen. Is my screen visible? Okay.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay, great. So, product management. This sounds a familiar word to you. So today I am going to talk about what product management is and agile product management with an emphasis on what it is. So product management is something which helps you to come up with solutions or products for your customers. And as a product manager, you have to basically provide the vision to your team who is going to develop that product. And that vision is something which should be solid enough. You should not compromise with the vision, but definitely you should be flexible enough on the details on how the product will be developed. Basically, launching the great products is not something that is just an art or a science. I would say it is a mix of both. Why? Because to come up with solid products, you need to have a solid vision. You need to have a good product strategy. Your design should be good enough, and the way you are executing the development of the products, that also matters. And finally, you should have all the data points on which you will rely on to make the necessary tweaks or in your product execution approach. So today I'm going to talk about what or who is a product manager. Now, a great product manager, as the VP of the product of the LinkedIn, right? He said that a great product manager has a brain of an engineer, a heart of a designer, and a speech of a diplomat. I just want you all to be familiar with some of the product manager's skills. These are not the only skills that a product manager should have, but these are some of the mandatory skills. He should be a problem solver with logical and critical thinking skills. Second is he should be an empath. He should not only be sympathetic with all the problems that are going on with his team members or the customers, but should be able to understand that. Third is he or she is required to be a facilitator. Every time any discussion is required, he or she should be able to lead it or facilitate it. He or she is required to be a quick learner. And no doubt, the business and technological enthusiastic skills. This is something a must-have for a product manager. And finally, in current times, a product manager, you will see in an industry, is required to have agilist skills also. Now, what is this agilist skills? Agilist skills is he should have quick thinking skills. He should be able to take on decisions very quickly in any of the situations, anytime, anywhere, or any place. He should be able to bring people, technologies, connectivity, time, places together in one moment. So that is something that is required. Now I'm going to talk about two of the approaches that in the software or the IT industry we used to follow or we are following to develop products or solutions. This is a waterfall, which is a traditional approach, wherein this approach is basically followed since 50 years. And then there is a agile approach, which is something very rapidly growing on in the industry, and it is being followed. And this is a rapid application development product way of developing the products. In waterfall, it is basically the products are first, the requirements are studied, all the stakeholders and the customers are interviewed. The product manager has to understand the requirements, draft it, and then accordingly, the requirements are phased out in the sequential manner in the project life cycle. So right from conception, there is an initiation phase, there is an analysis phase, design, construction, testing, and the deployment. This is a linear approach. And finally, in waterfall, we are able to execute only one project. But in agile, which is right now in current times, most of the industries or the organizations are following it. Herein, it is a kind of iterative approach. Here, there are usually projects with sprints, which is of 2 weeks, wherein the conception of the product also comes into picture. Initiation and analysis also happens. Simultaneously, the design and construction is also happening. And then the testing and deployment also is done of that product increment. And finally, that part of the product is being shipped at the end of the 2 weeks. Herein, we are able to execute multiple projects. That is the benefit. And throughout the industry, it has been realized that now this, if organizations are following agile approach, then they are able to reap 4 times more benefit in terms of cost than if what they were doing while following the waterfall methodology. So this is one of the prime reasons that everything has to be done very dynamically. And agilist skill set is very much required for a product manager. Now, today I am not going to bore all of you with all this gyan or the knowledge of product management. Basically, I think you all can go back, and if you are interested, study in any of this. I'm going to share my experiences on what all activities a product manager is required to do. And today I'm going to relate it out with a case study with the Professional Toastmaster Club. For example, here we are developing a product, or in fact, not even product, we are providing a service of learning public speaking skills. So here you can take an example that the club president is the product manager and the executive committee is the agile team, which is going to basically provide this service, is going to help in providing the service. And the club members are none but the customers, okay? So as a product manager of this organization or this product, basically, what will be the key task? Now, first of all, the product manager is required to understand the customer needs. And this means that he has to do the enough of market research. He has to understand what are the kinds of services that other public speaking organizations are providing. Or basically, he has to understand what the members are looking forward to. And for this, he can definitely list down all the customer needs in the form of story maps or user journey maps or personas, okay? Because different members are different personas altogether, and they are having different needs. Second is, he as a product manager has to ensure the product completeness. As I said, the different members might be having different needs altogether. So similarly, a product when is developed, it may cater to different market segments altogether. And when we are developing a product, we have to ensure the features that we are developing is catering to all the market segments. So there should be a complete and wholeness in the product that we are developing. Okay, and we have to consider all those different considerations. Then the third is develop and communicate the program vision and roadmap. As I said earlier, product manager is the CEO of the product. And he or she is the one who is going to establish the program vision or the roadmap on how the product will be developed. So as a product manager, I have to ensure that I need to develop and communicate the program vision and roadmap. And with the example of the case study, for example, I can take it this way, that as a product manager of professional speakers, I might have to maintain on how the speeches will be delivered by the different members so that they can see or realize the difference that is coming into their way they are developing their skills, soft skills of delivering the speeches or basically enhancing their public speaking skills. So this is something that is very important. And fourth is managing and prioritizing the flow of work. Now there is an executive committee team, as I said. So you have to ensure that you continuously plan the work of your executive committee team, that is your agile team. You have to, as a product manager, sometimes might have to prioritize or deprioritize the flow of work. You may choose that for a growth of a member, you might suggest on putting some feature into place which would be important for his or her development. Fifth is participate in Milestones program increment planning. Herein, you have to establish milestones. Like for this particular member, you have established a milestone of 1 month. For some, you have shared or established a milestone of 3 months and accordingly communicated it. So you have to plan the milestones accordingly. And then also you have to define the release parameters or the program increment. In the IT, what we do is we, as a product manager, basically, we have to define the release definitions. It is not only the features of that product which is important to be developed, but there are some architectural considerations also.
there may be some kind of technical depth work which is already there to be done to make the product go in the market. So as a product manager of your club, you should be also establishing some kind of themes of the club, so that that would help in the new motivation of the club members. Seventh is you have to work with internal stakeholders to understand the enabler work. Again, these internal stakeholders are none other than your team members, who's your agile team. So you need to work with them jointly. Enabler work is something that would enable you in delivering the service to your customers. It may be the infrastructure, it may be the public relationships that you are carrying out with the audience, or the kind of meetings that you are organizing. You have to ensure that you plan it well, and you are hosting it well in the right platform. Then last but not least, whenever the D-Day comes, basically it is the demonstration of the product or the service that you are delivering, basically you have developed so far. So this is the demo, wherein you have the opportunity to inspect and adapt also. Here you, as a product manager, becomes important for you to define or basically see the gap that is there on the metrics that you provided, that this is the business value that you want out of this feature. And once you have that, whether you have that or not, what is the gap? And if there is a gap, then you definitely have a room to go back and work with your team and identify what were the areas of improvement. So there are certain tools on finding out the areas of improvement. The common ones in the industry are doing a root cause analysis. There are several tools for this, like the fishbone diagram, 5 whys, Pareto analysis, and all those stuffs. So this is nothing but some kind of retrospection that you are performing. You are inspecting the product that you have delivered and you are adapting it. And if there are any gaps, you are putting that feature again into the development mode. And once that is being developed, you are just shipping it out. So now you see that as a product manager, whether you are relating it to the service that you are going to provide to your club members, or you're coming up with a product which you are going to launch in the market, it makes no difference, right? These are the tasks that you have to complete. And finally, when you have shipped out a very successful product to the market, then that is the best thing that happens to you. And finally, I would like to say that don't find the customers for your product. It is always that you have to find a product for your customers. If you start developing products with this approach, and definitely as a product manager, there is no loss for you, and it is always a win for you. With this, I would like to hand over to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jolie Sharma, for this wonderful debutante professional speech. Now we shall observe silence for 1 minute. I request the timer to show me red card on completion of 1 minute. Members may write their feedback about the speaker. Thank you, Toastmaster Haritika, timer, for showing me the red card. Moving on, we have table topic session. And this table topic session is being conducted by Mukesh Thakur, Dtm. Even though we have already received his introduction from our Sergeant-at-Arms, Sandeep Kumar, I found today that his introduction has changed. So I would like to tell a different introduction, which is the latest one in our WhatsApp group. Mukesh Thakur Dtm attempts to be a humorist, dancer, reader, writer, speaker, yet at the core, he is the master procrastinator. A chartered accountant by qualification, an entrepreneur by choice, and a Toastmaster by passion, he always keeps exploring new horizons. Although he authored a book which was published by Taxman, he believes he has poems to write before he sleeps. He loves adventures, chess, movies, music, and nature. Synergy and leverage being his favorite words, he gets his inspiration from the quote, start doing what is necessary, then what is possible, and suddenly you are doing the impossible. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our table topic master, Mukesh Thakur, Dtm.
Thank you very much for the wonderful introduction, our Toastmaster of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta. So, members, this is the most thrilling section of the entire segment that is called a table topic master. Table topic section. All you have to do is try to avoid table topics master. If you want to avoid that by just turning off your video or looking down or trying to pretending to do write something, then that will not work. If you want to avoid me, so you have to look at the camera, you have to turn on your video so that you don't get my attention. So as I can see, there are only few members. I have 5 topics, 15 minutes, and we have 8 members. So most likely, most of you will be getting one topic. I tell the table topics master is immune to the table topic system, so I am exempt. Who is the first volunteer? Distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta, an epitome of table topic speaking. Here is your topic. Distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta, getting paid to sleep, that's my dream job. Getting paid to sleep, that's my dream job. Distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta.
Thank you, Mukesh Thakur. Getting paid to dream is not my dream job. I would never like to be paid for doing nothing, because doing nothing is also doing something. You got it? In a way, I want to say that I would love to be paid for doing nothing. Believe it or not, by nature, nobody wants to work. It is only the compulsion that we have to work, because we have to survive in this world. If you are being fed, if you are being allowed to enjoy, and if you are being offered each and every facility and money and everything, and you are not required to do anything, you have to just sit at a place, and then you will be given all the facilities, all the adventures of life at one place, I'm sure nobody would like to work. Because we work because we have to survive, because we have to feed our family, because we have to make relationships, because we have to maintain those relationships, because we have to learn a lot, because we want to improve. If you take away all these requirements, I'm sure you would not like to work. We are working just because we want to go ahead, just because we are into a competition, a self-taught competition, which has not been imposed to us, but we have taken it to ourselves, because we think that we must improve, we must go ahead from others. That is why we are working. If you just think that you are being fed with the food, or you are being given the shelter free of cost, and you are being protected from wild animals or by the cruelty of nature, I'm sure nobody would like to work. Thank you. Over to table topic master.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I am also delighted to see our power topic speaker, Neeraj Gupta Dtm. Welcome, sir. Who would like to be the volunteer for our next table topics? Margarita, Anisha. Anisha, okay, it's your turn.
Margarita is raising her hand. I think she should get the opportunity first.
Margarita, where I can't see your hand.
I have lowered it. I wanted to liberate you from your misery.
Okay, so are you up? Ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Margarita, no man goes before his time unless the boss leaves early. No man goes before his time unless his boss leaves early, Margarita.
Mr. Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and if there are any guests. What a strange thing to say in those times where we are told about, for instance, agility, as we just heard in a professional speech. In those times where we hear that we have to look after ourselves, where we have to prioritize in our lives. I think the statement of our revered topic master of today is quite antiquated, outdated, and something from past times, because a true leader and a true manager will accept that whoever has to go first, for whatever reason, will go, because in such an environment, every single employee, every single colleague will do their best at what they are doing and will for sure make more than up for the time they might have lost because on one day, or maybe 2 days, or maybe even several days, they decided that they have to leave before the manager has to leave. Not only in work, this is something that applies, but I firmly believe that the same thing applies in life, everywhere, and with anything. All is possible. And when the time is right, no matter whether the boss is still around, we should be able to leave for our own sake, but not only for our own, for everybody's sake. Mr. Topics Master.
Wow, thank you very much. Can I have my next volunteer? I can see Haritika and Anisha both are ready. So Anisha raised her hand first. So Anisha, you are up for it. So your topic is Anisha Gupta. Hard work never killed anybody, but why to take a chance? Hard work never killed anybody, but why to take a chance, Anisha Gupta?
I am considered an epitome of a sloth. My favorite pastime, or the way I usually spend my Sunday mornings, is to just sleep around the whole day. Had it not been for professional speakers, I would have loved to continue that for my Sundays. Topic Master, you tell me that hard work doesn't kill anybody. And I really won't want to take chances on that. So I believe that I'm a sloth. I like to be like the monkeys who just sleep around, hop around, eat, and do nothing for for the hard work. But hard work does give results, as I see for my friends around, as I see for the professional speakers that I have in my club. Professional speakers is like someone like distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh Thakur, the topic master himself. I see him doing hard work. I see him delivering 100 speeches, writing 100 speeches, getting them evaluated. That is the kind of hard work which may lead to my goals as well. I see distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh. I see other Toastmasters practicing their speeches. I heard Rupinder Singh one day telling me that he has practiced his speeches about 300 plus times, the same speech. That definitely is hard work. But I'm not going to take risk, as topic master you mentioned. So I am going to continue to be the sloth. And there will be time when I will be doing that kind of practice. But today is not the day. Today is my Sunday. Topic master. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anisha. Now, Haritika, are you there? Can you say something?
Yes.
Okay, so you are up.
Give me a minute.
Can someone
Yes.
do timing for Haritika?
I can, if no.
Sandeep, can you do timing for Haritika? Thank you. Haritika Ahuja. So topic is long, just listen carefully. Everyone brings joy to this office. Some when they enter, some when they leave. Everyone brings joy to this office. Some when they enter, some when they leave. Haritika Ahuja.
Yes, it is well said. Everyone brings joys to office. If it is your colleague, then you are really happy seeing him come. But if it's your boss, your manager, your partner, then you will always be sad when he comes, and you will always be happy seeing him go. Yes, it is well said. I will tell in my example when I was doing my articleship in Lodha and Company Delhi. So I always used to be so happy, like I am always. But whenever I see the partner, for the first time when I hadn't seen him, I was like, "Who is this old man?" And then my senior told me he's the partner. Oh, I was so shy then, and but whenever he used to leave, I used to feel so happy, because whenever he used to come, we had to stay till 10, 11. And when he is not in the office, when he or the manager is not in the office, I used to leave before even 4, which makes me feel even better. But yes, even their presence in the office also makes us feel good, because they tell us various things, how to do things better. But so every person in the office brings joy, some by staying there, some when they go, and some when they come. That's my take. What do you say, sir?
That's great, Haritika. Now I have time for, I guess, 1 minute, one more topic, and I know Mithun has raised his hand. So Mithun, you are up, and your topic is Mithun. Doing nothing is very hard to do. You never know when you are finished. Doing nothing is very hard to do. You never know when you are finished, Mithun.
Hello, everyone. I see a world. I see around myself. I look around myself and I see people doing something to develop themselves, to make money, to go to the offices, to spend time with the family, to do things that do matter or that may matter in the future. Then I see some people who are so cozy, so lenient, so laid back with their lives, who literally are doing nothing. And it seems like a vague contrast between the two worlds. When I look at these two pictures, I see one person who's actually going to be productive, who's actually going to make a difference in this world, be it minute or be it major. That doesn't really matter. What matters is that person is going to mark his contribution in this world by somehow doing something. On the other hand, there is an individual who's not doing anything, maybe because they have that privilege not to do anything and still be comfortable. But the thing I see is that a potential getting wasted. Everybody has capability to do something and mark a difference, but such people are doing nothing. And look at ourselves. We are no different to such individuals, although we are doing something. But if we do analyze our day-to-day lives, it turns out that our productivity throughout the day remains way below where we expect it to be, whether it's the office, whether it's the personal lives, or wherever it is. We are so laid back, we have become so comfortable with ourselves that we actually start investing more time trying to be productive, trying to keep track on what we are doing and why we are doing it. I think we can all improvise, we can all become much better than what we are right now. And that's what I think on this topic. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And can we have a huge round of applause for all the table topic speaker who did a wonderful job today. And now it's the time for table topic section is over. I would like to hand over the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta.
Thank you, Mukesh Thakur, DTM, the table topics master. Now, before we move on to the next segment, there is a question about the theme, workplace. I think in a person's life, workplaces keep on changing from mother's womb to graveyard. For example, it may go from wooden jhula, a swing, to school, and from school to college, from college to home, then office or farmhouse, or gardening or agriculture, and then deathbed, and ultimately graveyard. Every place we are working, because we are there physically, mentally, socially. So our workplace is getting changed. Now the question is it the work that defines the place, or is it the place that defines the work? Would anybody like to give answer to this question? Is it the work that defines the place, or is it the place that defines the work?
Work that defines the place.
The place, okay. So you mean to say that if you are in office, you cannot do any personal thing because you have to do official things.
Yeah.
Okay. Similarly,
basically you're meant to be working there.
You're right.
In the office.
It also establishes that if you are in drawing room, you cannot do cooking, because drawing room is
not
for
that comfortably. If you want it to be done efficiently, then definitely you need to be in kitchen with all the tools.
Okay. Suppose you are doing something. Yeah, Anisha, you raise your hand.
I wanted to add to that. I think it's the work that defines the place, and I'll give you an example. The very example of our rooms, my room, in fact. I use it for sleeping, I use it for watching, I use it for entertainment, and I use it for office work. So the kind of work that I'm doing at a certain moment defines what that place becomes for me. Is it a retiring room? Is it an exercise room? Or it's my workplace? I think this would be applicable to everyone.
Yeah, very right, Anisha. Especially in these times when in the bedroom, now I'm sitting and just doing the professional speeches, and otherwise in the weekdays I am just working. And at time when I'm retiring to my bed, it becomes a bed.
For the time being, I will leave this question for the members to ponder on it. I shall continue with the next part of the speech, which is prepared speeches. Today, we have only one speaker, who is none other than Mukesh Thakur, DTM. Mukesh Thakur, DTM, shall be delivering a speech from level 3 of visionary communication. Time allotted for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. And the title of the speech is My Soulmates. My Soulmates, Mukesh Thakur, DTM.
Pardon me, the time allotted would be 8 to 10 minutes.
Okay. The timer, please note, the time allotted for the speech is 8 to 10 minutes. Over to Mukesh Thakur, DTM.
Oh, pyare lo, oh, pyare lo. For Margarita, this means give love and then receive love. This is a perfect song in Bollywood for dance. Good evening, members and guests. What are the things that we do for love? In my case, my childhood was totally directed by some of the Bollywood stars. Most of the movies that we see, they would tell us how to lead our lives. And in most of the movies, the only message was how to fall in love. And there is nothing in this world apart from falling in love and getting the person you wanted. In my college, when I started my college, I saw this girl Ina, and I thought that I have met my soulmate. As they are saying, it was the love at first sight. The moment I saw her, my thoughts, my opinion, everything that would consume in my subconscious, everything would be dedicated to Ina. I cannot imagine anything else. I liked everything about her, except when I would confront her, I would freeze. My mind and body would like to stop working, just the way a public speaker does when they comes on the stage. I liked about everything, the way she talks, the way she moves, the way she carries herself, her voice, and everything she was doing was perfect. She was in my college and as well as in my coaching. And if someday she would not come to college, I would find myself walking for even 6 to 7 kilometers in the evening just to find a glimpse of her. And when I had a glimpse of her, it would make my entire day. I did many things. I fought with many of the friends. I kept thinking about her day and night and kept chasing her, but talking to her. I could not even find courage to talk to her. Things changed and I moved to a different city. I just gathered some thoughts and I called on her number. She was there on the other side of the phone and I somehow tried to utter some word. I said, hello. She recognized me. I did not even know that she recognized me or not. I said something and she did not reciprocate with the same enthusiasm, and the story ended then and there. And I found that I have lost my soulmate until I met Meena. Meena was doing an internship with me. This time, I again fall in love at the first sight. I felt that she is my uh, soulmate, and I cannot think anything uh, beyond Meena. She became my good friend. Unlike Ina, I used to hang out with her. I was used to work with her every time, and now and then I used to study with her, and we used to even go to movie after by bunking a few office days with some other friends. Unlike Ina, I even expressed my feelings to Meena. When I told this to her, her face was lit. Still, one day she took me to a long walk and tried to convince me that she does not have a similar feelings for me that I have with her. We were still friends. We used to kept working together. We used to go same coaching classes. We appeared in the final examination in the together, and we even both passed the CA final examination together. One day, she sent me an invitation card of her marriage, and that day I got depressed. I thought the world will end today. The day she was getting married, I was down on the bed with high fever, and I found that I have lost my soulmate today. And then I met Tika. Tika, with Tika, it was not love at first sight. Still, whenever I would interact with her, I would get impressed the way she was talking, the deepness of her thoughts, the way she carries herself, or the patience she was possessing, and the way she would be working would always keep me amazed. At one of the small incident, her traits intrigued me towards her, and after that moment, I kept falling and falling and falling for her forever. And these thoughts have become so deep, so intense that I would feel that my entire body, every cell of my blood has have some quantity of the thoughts of Dika. This time I was prepared. I I waited for some time, and I was just testing if my all the feelings were real or just infatuation. After waiting for a few months, I knew that these feelings were pure, and I expressed it to her. She did not reciprocate again with the same feelings, yet she understood, she received the message, and she respected what I was feeling. On one day, I told something impulsively on WhatsApp, and after just the moment I sent the message, there was a reaction. She reacted like Hulk. I could clearly hear the loud voices on the text messages on WhatsApp. I got depressed once again. And this event took to the places that we did not even talk for a few months. Still, when I realized that the way I was talking and interacting with her had changed my entire life positively. Even we were not on the good terms, I felt that my feelings toward her was unchanged. I was still deeply connected with her. Even if we are not talking, I felt that whatever good that person has done to me will still holds. The fact that she has changed my entire life will still hold good. And that day I realized that we all are independent body. When I am talking about Ina, Mina, or Dika as my soulmates, we don't even know that we have souls. Existence of soul is not even scientifically proven. Still, in the name of love, there are honor killings. There are extreme steps that are being taken. There are depressions post breakup. There are acid throwings. There are some cases where people even go to the extreme cases where they go for and commit suicides. As per one of the theories, the famous novel by Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, was nothing but a satire on this entire love relationship. When Shakespeare was trying to emphasize that people are even doing these things for just for the sake of emotions. Someone of us twisted the message and glorified it in a different manner. When you love someone, when you have some feeling about someone, and this feeling has the weightage as far as you are getting a reciprocation from the other person, that means this is not a love, this is a trade. This is a barter system. You give some love and you take some love. When you have some feeling, and that does not get compromised with any situation, by with any individuality or any similar feelings from other person, it is love, because love is nothing but unconditional submission. And when you are love, when you are in love with someone, just test that whether your feelings are getting compromised on any other condition or any other person of the entire world. Just test yourself, because it is not about the song Pyar do, pyar lo. It is not a barter system. Love is just an unconditional submission. Thank you.
Thank you, Mukesh Thakur Dtm, for this wonderful speech. Now we shall observe silence for 1 minute for the members in the audience to write their comments about this speech. Timer, please show me red card on completion of 1 minute. Thank you, Haritika. Moving on, now we have come to a very special session, a session which is a unique feature of our club, in which we invite someone who has already established himself in the field of communication and leadership. And today we have a very special person in our meeting, Neeraj Gupta Dtm, who shall be delivering a power talk. Before I invite him on the stage and tell the title of power talk, I would like to give a brief introduction about the power talk speaker. Neeraj Gupta Dtm is a past district director in 2015 and 2017. Currently, he is the MD of Panambi Operations. He has worked with companies like Adobe Systems. He has done Bachelor of Engineering and Masters of Technology from IIT Roorkee. He has received various accolades and awards, including Emerging Leadership Award from SHM, Presidential Citation Award from Toastmasters International, President, District Director, and Division Director twice. He is the Distinguished Toastmaster, the highest award an official can take in Toastmasters International system. He has written various papers in international software conferences. He loves to solve Sudoku puzzles and prefer to spend quality time with his family. Let's all welcome to Neeraj Gupta Dtm with his power talk. It's my story. It's my story. Neeraj Gupta Dtm. Can we please check?
Thank you so much.
Neeraj, sir, please hold on.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Can you please
Okay.
check from whose background the voice of dog is coming? Can we stop it?
Let me try. Just a second.
I'm sure we are getting new membership from animals as well.
So, Neeraj sir.
So, are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, we are able to hear you. Let's welcome
Am I
Neeraj
audible
Gupta.
now?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
We are able to hear you. Let's welcome Neeraj
Thank you
Gupta.
so much. Yeah.
Okay, so start.
Okay. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmasters Raj Mehta, for inviting me in this meeting. I am from the generation of 70s. I born in 1974, and that was a time when parents wanted their kids to become IAS, IPS, or managers. Manager was a key word. Everyone would like to become their sons or daughters to become manager. After passing my engineering from IIT Roorkee, I joined RMSI and subsequently I moved to Adobe Systems. And there, my one motto, only one aim was to become a manager. So it was a fine day when my appraisal meeting was finalized with my manager. Those who worked in Indian corporate environment, they know what is meaning of appraisal meeting. Appraisal meeting is an annual rigorous process where the boss provides feedback, appraisals in terms of salary hike, and of course promotions. So that is a typically meeting of our general evaluator where the boss provides CRC feedback through CRC approach, and a plus point is you will be getting salary hike and promotion. So I was eagerly waiting for that particular meeting because on that year I was expecting my promotion to become the manager, which I wanted to become for many years. The meeting started in very good way. My manager provided all commendations, recommendations, and commendations. But my ears were attentive to only one word. Neeraj Gupta, you are now promoted as the manager now. This is what I wanted to listen. So he kept on providing feedback, and although I did have patience, but I tried to show my passion. Yes, I can keep on listening. And finally, the time arrived when he said that now the time is for salary hike. And Neeraj, congratulations, you are going to be promoted to the next level. And your title will be finally promotion and my new title. Yes, sir. What is my new title? Your new title will be senior lead. My God. I wanted to become manager. I was devastated. It was very similar when Mukesh Thakur received no when he wanted to listen to love. The same feeling I had. My God, I am not going to become manager. I asked why I cannot become the manager. I am technically sound. He said, you need to start working on your communication skills. Unless you improve your communication skills, you won't be able to get promotion as a manager. I returned to my home. I was devastated because, as you know, it was in our culture. If you are a manager, then you are growing. If you are working in technical ladder, then you are not growing. That was a signature of your success. I was fortunate. Within a week time, I received an email from HR department that there is a concept of non-profit organization that is called Toastmasters International, and these people are coming for a demo meeting. In the demo meeting, I was fortunate. There are two well-known people. Everyone must know their name. These people came for the demo meeting. One was our immediate past international president, distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Menon, and the other person is our past district governor, Dr. Reet Arora, distinguished Toastmaster. These two people came for the demo meeting. I attended the demo meeting. I was impressed. I was impressed. Why? Because if I join Toastmasters Club, I'll improve my communication skills and then I'll become the manager. So whole time that manager keyboard kept on coming to my mind. Yes, I'll become now manager. So I was probably the first person to raise my hand when the distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Menon asked, how many of you are going to join this new club? I was probably the first one, and I was probably the first one to say, yes, we are going to put efforts to charter a new club. The new EC formed, I became part of EC, not because I wanted to learn something, because I wanted this club to be chartered, because I wanted to become a manager. And gradually my journey started in Toastmasters. I was fortunate that I took leadership role, first role of treasurer, then VPPR, decided to leave in the first year. I was promoted, I was given another responsibility, dual responsibility as VPPR, but I was not promoted in my organization, which I wanted to become manager. The subsequent year, I decided to take role of Toastmasters in club position. So I was nominated as a president, and my aim was not shattered. Although one more appraisal had already gone, I was still not manager, but I was sure that if I kept on working in Toastmasters, one fine day I'll become the manager. So the next year, I decided to become president of Adobe Toastmasters Club, which was my club. And in that year, there was a new concept that was coming to Delhi NCR, that was Advanced Toastmasters Club. When I thought, if I can improve my communication skills in a normal Toastmasters meeting, what will happen if I join Advanced Toastmasters Club? Yes, that was a time I can become a manager if I join Advanced Toastmasters Club. So I became charter member of Advanced Toastmasters Club, which was known as Delhi Toastmasters Club. Subsequently, I became VP Education. And one fine day, when we had a meeting to someone's place, we found that two key speakers backed out. On that day, I decided to take a role of a speaker, because in Toastmasters we kept on reshuffling the role, and I thought that was an opportunity to improve my communication skills, because I wanted to become manager. So I took communication, I took a speaker role. Those who may know the Daily Advanced Toastmasters Club, during those days, all stalwart of district champion, district director, and all stalwarts who were the pillar of strength of district at that time, these were members. Forget about becoming the champion or the best speaker or best evaluator in Delhi Advanced Toastmasters meeting. If I was able to speak, that was that was one achievement for me. Okay, in that stalwart, I was able to speak, because the format was very tough. When you are listening a table topic speech, you need to be prepared, because you will be invited to provide feedback on this speech. If you're listening to a speaker, you should be ready. You should keep your ears open, because you will be asked to give feedback. One commendation, one recommendation. So on that fine day, I decided to deliver one speech, and that was a personal experience with some exaggeration. And for a time change, for a change, I decided to deliver a humorous speech. Before that, I kept on giving serious speech, because for only one aim, I needed to become a manager, and a manager is a like very serious person. So I kept on delivering serious speech. That day, I decided to deliver a humorous speech, and that was a day I became the best speaker in Daily Advanced Toastmasters Club. I still remember the day when I posted on Facebook. Yes, I became the best speaker in Daily Toastmasters Club, and that day I realized that it's a story that will make us winnable, that will make us a winnable speaker. So I use one speech. Of course, it's not the time to deliver that speech. I delivered a speech like I had this lizard phobia. Uh, a lot of time I face encounters with lizard. If I am moving somewhere, the lizard will come and that will drop on my shoulder, on my head. So I had that phobia, and I converted that phobia speech into a humorous speech. And from that time onward, I learned that it's better to share your personal experience convert into a speech and then pass the message. If we can do that, then your facial expression will be natural. Your voice, vocal variety will be natural, because that emotion you will be playing that particular picture in your flashback. You will remember the speech. You don't need to repeat the story in 100 times, 200 times, 300 times. Of course, you need to repeat to make the speech perfect, but you don't need to remember the speech. It will come automatically. If you like, you just start play and the story will move. So on that day, I learned that and I started delivering my speech. And friends, it happened. One fine day, I became manager. I became manager in my previous company, RMSI, and then I joined back Adobe as a manager. So my dream fulfilled. My dream fulfilled not because I was wanted to become manager, but because I joined Toastmasters Club, which transformed my life. I cannot say that I am a great speaker, but what I can say that Toastmasters gave me some arsenals how to sharpen our communication skills. When you're speaking with your wife, when you're speaking with your in-laws, when you're speaking with your bosses, when you're speaking with your customers, when you are speaking with your subordinates, when you're speaking with your agents, when you're speaking with your vendors, how that learning we can incorporate in our life. So Toastmasters transformed my life. And one fine day, I am the reserved person who always kept on thinking to become manager, decided to leave that lavish job of Adobe, and I decided to start my journey in Panambi vacations. That happened only because of Toastmasters. So Toastmasters communications played very critical role. When I meet a customers, I never talk about technical aspect. Yes, come to my resort, take vacation. I usually share stories. I usually share stories of the tiger or the leopard I have seen around resort. I shared stories about the birds which were prevalent near my resort. I shared stories of some recent movies shootings around my resort, and that storytelling helped me in bringing business. Even though it was crisis time, but still I was able to get business. So to conclude my speech, communication is one parameter. People try to scale you whether you are a great leader. Communication is very important, but how you can become a better communicator so that you can achieve your dream. For me, becoming a manager was my dream, but I achieved much more than only becoming a manager role. You might be having certain dream in your life. You wanted to become a company owner, you want to become district director, you want to become a successful entrepreneur, you want to become a successful husband or wife. That can be achieved if you start taking those learnings and start sharing your personal experience. And my promise is that whatever goal you decide in your life, no one can stop in achieving that goal, and you will become invincible provided our intentions are good. If our intention is to grow and keep on serving people and keep on growing ourselves and all our friends circle. So that is my story. It's my story, and it's not my story, it's story of everyone. I was from Hindi medium, and because of Toastmasters experience, because of Toastmasters learning, I was able to achieve something. I don't know when I'll die, I'll be successful person or not. But what I know that the skills I learned from Toastmasters, I'll continue to make fight irrespective of situation. I'll be come back. So that's my part. In case there are any question answers, you can ask, or otherwise, thank you so much for inviting in this meeting. And my best wishes to all members of professional speakers. Thank you.
Thank you, Neeraj sir, for this excellent story of telling us how communication gradually became the reason of your upliftment in your organization. And that communication is learned from nowhere else but Toastmasters. With this, we come to the next section of our meeting, which is evaluations. We have done something in our various segments and now these are required to be evaluated because we all want to improve. Before I invite our general evaluator, just one sentence to conclude my theme, and which is, let's make our workplace as productive and comfortable as possible, because whether it is the work or the place, ultimately we are the workers who have to be somewhere to work something. Now, a brief introduction about our general evaluator, Toastmaster Sandeep Kumar. Toastmaster Sandeep Kumar is a goal-oriented person and leads his life with passion. People call him a friend for everyone. He is a sales professional having 10 years of experience. Currently, he is working as Channel Business Manager at Daikin Air Conditioning India Private Limited. He has been associated with Toastmasters for almost 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our General Evaluator, Toastmaster Sandeep Kumar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Day, for such a brief introduction. Before I begin with my session, please give him a big round of applause for conducting such a wonderful Toastmaster of the Day session. It was quite thought-provoking and well engaged, I would say. Raj sir, you did a very wonderful job today. Okay, let's begin with the evaluations section. It is time to improve, not for the speakers, for ourselves as well. So it's my sincere request to all the speakers, guests, and all the role players to provide their feedback, which they have written during the silence provided by during the meeting. Please make sure that your feedback should be short and crisp. If someone felt that their evaluation has been repeated, so please skip over to the next speaker or guest. First, I would like to invite professional speaker of the day, who is Toastmaster Jolie Sharma on the virtual stage.
Yeah, thank you, General Evaluator Sandeep. And with this, I would request the feedback for my speech, that is Agile Product Management. So first of all, I request Margareta, can you please provide the feedback?
Jolie and fellow Toastmasters, today we heard a great speech about a topic that is very contemporary. It is something that probably impacts most of us. And Jolie has proven that she has done great research around it. About Agile product management, she has ticked all the boxes that had to be ticked. She has shared all the insights that needed to be shared. And this is where I think you have let yourself a tiny bit down, and something I would consider if you would give this speech again. One thing, when you have a presentation, you need to use it as a backdrop to your speech. What you have done is you have given us a presentation as we are used to, especially in more corporate environments, where sometimes we copy paste an entire spreadsheet onto the PowerPoint in order to be sure that everything that needs to be there is there. Less is more. Just put the key points and continue talking to them. And the second thing that I suggest you to consider is add personal experience. What I missed is, I mean, you said you should do, or we do. So I assumed that is your personal experience, but it would have been nice also to hear about maybe sometimes the approach fails. Why did it fail? Or why in a certain context was it really successful? Because that's what we probably would even have learned from a lot more. I think, researched perfectly. You gave really all the content that had to be given to. Next time, a little bit less, and complement it with your personal journey. It would be all the more valuable. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Margareta. Thanks for the wonderful feedback. Definitely take care. So second, I would request Mithun. Can you please share your feedback, Mithun Gaur?
Hi. As an accountant, it was my responsibility to keep track of fillers, foregons, and occasional usage of words that I used in any communication. And I'm really excited to say that there were so few of them that I was able to capture. Few of them were like I was like, it was captured in Toastmaster Haritika's speech during the
Mithun, I would like to interfere. Actually, she is asking your feedback about her speech.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I wasn't aware that I have to keep track of that. Apologize.
That's perfectly fine. I think so. That's perfectly fine. So if you have anything more, then I would appreciate. Otherwise, I'll move to next evaluator.
Yeah, please move on.
Yeah. So Anisha.
Hello, Jolie. Delighted to hear your professional speech. First of all, I believe that delivery-wise, you have come a long way because I've seen all your speeches that you have delivered so far. I loved the how it ended, how you made your speech end, which was mostly a presentation. So customers don't make products and look out for customers, but find product which customers need. So I believe that this quote could also be applied to your how do you present it, in the sense that uh, just mention why the purpose, why you were picking this topic for this audience and how it is relevant to this audience. I really want to commend you on the fact that you used a very relevant example of the Toastmasters Club. Even though this was a very technical presentation, clean visuals, very crisp, loved those. But if you mention the purpose and what we can take back. So second thing is, what is our takeaway? Like if from the technical presentation, if I'm not a technical person, any quick one or two things that I want to take back as an audience, those would make your product much better and you a better product manager. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Taken, feedback taken. So to rest of them, I'll reach out individually, or probably I would love in case if you can just drop me here in message or WhatsApp group, anything about my speech. I'd appreciate that feedback. So over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Jolie. Now it's time to call our prepared speaker. This is Toastmaster Mukesh Thakur on the stage. Mukesh Thakur, you are invited on the virtual stage.
Thank you, Sandeep. I would like to receive your feedback. I would start from Jolie.
Yeah, so Toastmaster, this DTM Mukesh, I think you have come a long way from the way I saw that last speech of yours. I really loved the way you were presenting it, especially in the standing position, and definitely that is something that I am aspiring to do it in my next speech. So that was kudos to you on that part. And secondly, on the content part, I think that was really interesting start and a very interesting end too. And the stories that you shared, those were really nice. So I do not have much to comment on that content, because I think you are just coming out with masterpieces every time. Whenever you come up with new other stories, I think I have to learn from you. So overall, it was really nice and very interesting speech. I just loved it. Thank you, Mukesh.
Thank you, Jolie. Haritika, before you turn your lights.
was a wonderful speech. I really liked your energy, and you were standing as always. It was a good speech, though I had to leave because I was to book vaccine. So I just felt that you were, as always, you were high on energy, and it was good speech. That's all for evaluation.
Thank you very much. Distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta.
Mukesh, it was an entertaining speech. I won't say it was too much humorous because I could smile, but I could not laugh. And but there was good message that love is not a barter system. Love is something you take it or you leave it. That's all. I also want to recommend that when you are giving names to your beloved ones, you are giving the names like Hina, Meena, and Geeta. I would say that give some different names which are distinguishable easily. For example, it could be Hina, then it could be something like Suman, and it could be something like something different. So that when we are hearing these names, we should remember that which beloved is having which name. The first one is Meena and second was Hina. Meena, so I was getting confused in that. And I also felt that you were flattering. Means at times you were losing your confidence in between. So I think this speech needed to have a little bit rereading or some practice. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I was inspired from the movie Ina Mina Dika. So, Anisha.
Pyar do, pyar lo. Distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh Thakur is the man of telling us that love is not a barter system. Mukesh, I love the fact that I always notice in your speeches that you mention names to characters already covered by Raj sir. And this makes the speech very memorable. Since your topic, your project was on vocal variety, I want to just point out one instance where I noted that vocal variety could have been used. So when you mentioned that that day I got depressed, I think you received the marriage invitation, wedding invitation, and that day I got depressed. So you did show that frown on your forehead. So facial expression wise, it was there, but it was still the narrative tone that was kept going on. The wedding invitation arrived, and that day I got depressed. Instead of that, you can bring in the vocal variety that the wedding invitation arrived, and oh, I got depressed. That's the point where I could feel that this could be used. And otherwise, of course, this master storyteller that you are, loved it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anisha. Margarita.
Distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh, since I heard you last time, and this was quite a few weeks ago, you have gone from strength to strength. And I really love, especially how much you have worked on body language and on your voice. The story, needless to say, it was fabulous storytelling. I loved the fact that you didn't use the typical Toastmasters 1, 2, 3 that I hear far too much, especially during competition time, but you narrated a wonderful story and brought us from climax to climax. And it really worked out very well, including giving us at the end a takeaway, something we could think about. I would now like to come back, as already our lovely grammarian has come back to, which is the voice. I don't want to speak about body language. I liked your interaction with the camera. It was really great. You moved. We saw what we had to see. That was fantastic. You definitely have come far with using your voice as an instrument to emphasize your points, but there is something you need to pay attention to, which is if you want really to emphasize and you want really to become louder, choose the moments within your speech very carefully. Because there was a point somewhere in between the speech where it was also clearly visible that you were very emotional about the rejection, about how you felt about. But then it was just a bit too long, and I couldn't anymore make out what was now the point that really hurt him so much. What was the part that you would like us to really take with us, that this is the thing that you were bothered about. So try to use a little bit the voice more carefully and use it then when it really, really matters, because it will become a lot more impactful. But a wonderful speech. Thank you very much.
Amazing, great evaluations. Thank you very much, all of you. And I would like to hand over the back to the general evaluator, Sandeep.
Thank you, speaker, and all the evaluators who provided a constructive feedback. Now it is time to call the auxiliary role players on the stage. First of all, I would like to invite Grammarian, who is played by Nisha Gupta, on the stage.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I would now like to share my screen and show the grammarian's report. Right. So from the grammarian's desk, it's been a lovely day, capturing hold of the various phrases and idioms that were used. In fact, some good usage of vocabulary as well. I could also note down the use of word. The word of the day was epitome. It was used twice, once by distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh and once by myself. In both usages, it was a personification, epitome of table topics, epitome of sloth. Then we move on to the good usages. And here I was specifically noting down, looking out for figures of speech and good usage of vocabulary and phrases. And I could note immense phrases. Some words that stood out for me were phobia, reciprocation, ponder, antiquated and outdated statement, master procrastinator. By the way, can anyone tell me whether it's procrastinator, crastinator, or castinator? Would anyone like to take a guess?
It's procrastinator. Oh, sorry.
CR or
CR. CR.
Thank you. Thank you, Margarita, for pointing that out. Yes, I have noted often that this is a use that people often overlook. It's procrastinator, quite a mouthful, but should be pronounced correctly. Arsenal to sharpen skills. Love is not a barter system, take and give. So here the speaker not only used the word barter system, but also defined it in the same sentence. Love is unconditional submission. Revered topic master. Revered, I looked up, is profoundly honored. New word for me. Self-thought competition and others. From mother's womb to graveyard. I feel that such usage was very vivid to give me an imagery of what is happening. We work because we have to work. I can find out an alliteration over here of W. We work, we. So these were the good usages. Even in table topics, I believe that all the table topics were quite a mouthful, but very good phrases in themselves. Some improvement areas that I believe, and I will categorize them in terms of abbreviations, and something that we should all note that abbreviations are not announced. They when speaking, so it's not DTM, but distinguished Toastmaster. Another few are, so we are doing time pass is an colloquial use that is wrong. It should be we are passing time, because time pass is not officially, doing time pass is not officially correct in the grammar. Through, it was written THRU, it was written on presentation, it was through. It should be written properly. Can we do cooking? Can instead be can we cook? Speech of this much length. So this much length, if you're already mentioning like much length, we should instead should be used as this length or this long. In the IT, so in the IT was that it had some kind of incompleteness. It should be followed by in the IT team, sector, or domain. And for the boss or partner when he comes, there was a usage where someone said that the boss or partner when he comes. I believed in such cases, unless we have already mentioned who the person is, we should use gender neutral pronouns. In this case, it could be when they come, because for everyone else, it becomes generalized. That's all from the grammarian's desk. And you can see the red card. Thank you. Back to you, the general evaluator.
Thank you, grammarian. Please give her a big round of applause for such a detailed report. Now, I would like to call our counter on the stage, Mithun Gaur.
Hi, everyone. As I started, it was a really good session, and I was not able to encounter many R's or filler words throughout the session. There were a couple, I would say, during Mukesh, your speech, I captured approximately 4 or 5 R's. 1 or 2 filler words were also there. Toastmaster Ritika, when she was doing the table topics, she was using I was like, it was like. So it will be better if you could avoid that. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Mithun. And thanks for playing the grammarian role today. Sorry, counter role today. Now I would like to call timer Ritika Ahuja for presenting her report.
Hi, I'm sharing my report. So it was a good day from the timer's desk. We are almost on time, except the fact that violating the mission statement, we went overtime by 26 seconds. And then after the TMO, when Toastmaster of the Day introduced the theme, we went overtime by 17 seconds. But there were times when we completed within time, even before time. And for the table topic session, all the speakers covered within the grace period. And then while the Toastmaster of the Day was introducing the speaker, he took 3 minutes and 17 seconds instead of 1 minute. So it was he went overtime. And so was the case when he introduced the Power Talk speaker. And even the Power Talk speaker went overtime by 3 minutes and 44 seconds. And then evaluation of Jolie Sharma took 5 minutes and 38 seconds, which she went overtime by 38 seconds. And so was the case for Mukesh Kumar Dtm. It took 7 minutes 12 seconds to complete the evaluation. And for the grammarian, it took 4 minutes and 21 seconds. So we are almost on time. And that was my report. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Ritika. Let's give her a big round of applause for presenting the report. Timers, playing the role of timer at professional speaker is not an easy job, and you did a wonderful job today, Ritika. We congratulate to you. Now it's time to do the evaluation for table topic speaker before I present my report. First speaker was distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta. The topic was getting paid to sleep. That is my dream job. The good thing is he started with a positive note that we are all compelled to work because we have to survive, we have to improve. And the speaker was confident and voice was loud and clear. My only recommendation to the speaker is if he could use the personal example, that would be easy and that would be easily relatable. Second speaker was Margarita. Her topic was no one goes before time until boss arrives early. The good part was he started with a positive note that we have to prioritize life. And secondly, he challenged the topic that the topic was outdated, and he presented how the topic was outdated. It is not about joining the office early. He is all about who will actually come first for doing his duty. He was she was confident throughout, and the boss was loud and clear. Again, the same recommendation: if the marketer could use the personal story or example, that would give us strength to the speech. Next speaker was Toastmaster Anisha. Her topic was hard work never kills anybody, but why to take chance. The good thing was she started with a positive note, that personal story, her routine work, positive aspect of hard work, how can our hard work can give benefits to anyone. The good thing is she had a vocal variety throughout her speech, and she related her speech with Toastmasters as well. I don't have any recommendation at Toastmaster speech is concerned. Keep the spirit on. That is my recommendations, or I would say the suggestions to the speaker. Next speaker was Haritika. Our topic was everything brings joy to the office. Some when they enter, some when they leave. She started with a personal example. She was enjoying throughout her speech. That is actually good trademark for any speaker. She was confident. The voice was clear. My recommendation is if she could have a pause and have the proper organization of content and the conclusion, that could give the more impact to the speech. Last speaker was Toastmaster Mithun. His topic was doing nothing is hard to do, but you don't know how to finish. The good thing about the speaker was he presented both the aspects, doing all the things and doing nothing. And he actually present a good note that the contribution is the main aspect, and we have to focus on the contribution, whether we are doing nothing and we are doing all the things. The main thing, the contribution, that I liked very much, and that is my takeaway. Throughout the speech, he focused on positive aspect of doing the things rather than not doing the things. So I really liked his speech. Again, the suggestion, if he could use the personal story, that give the speech the more strength. Now coming to my report, let me share my screen. Toastmaster, could you please confirm that my screen is visible? Hope my screen is visible.
Yeah, it is visible.
I start with the Sergeant at Arms. He started meeting on time, recite the mission statement properly, and he introduced President very well. The acknowledgement of guest was wonderful, done by President. The business segment was conducted in a very constructive manner. My only suggestion is if the slide of absentees could be removed, that would be better. President introduced Toastmaster Day in a very energetic way. Now coming to the Toastmaster Day, I really like the theme today. It's like actually thought-provoking and well engaged. The good thing about the theme was the members came forward, irrespective of whether the Toastmaster Day invites the members or guests for the suggestions or things. That actually proves that Toastmaster Day actually did a wonderful job, and let's give him a big round of applause. The only suggestion which I really want to give to Toastmaster Day, I think there is some more preparation, and if he could have the more confidence, that could give a meeting more impact. Now coming to the introduction and structure of the meeting, I think rest of the thing Toastmaster Day did a very wonderful job, so I really don't want to make any comment on it. Professional speech was technical, and I really like the way the speaker puts analogy related to Toastmasters. Now coming to the table topic session, I really congratulate Mukesh Thakur did a wonderful job today, and really like the topics that is very related to theme. My only suggestion is that keep the topic short, that could be easily understood by the speakers. Now coming to the first prepared speakers, who is Mukesh Thakur again. It was a wonderful story and really like the differentiation between love and trade. I think really that is the old takeaway from all the guests and the members. Coming to the power talk, I will not talk a power talk. It's a powerful packed story today. It's inspired and motivational, starting from the beginning to the end. And I think we all are motivated and a big takeaway from the speaker. Coming to the evaluation, I think I believe all the members and guests have provided constructive feedback. And good thing was there were no repetitions. Coming to the timers report, I think all the role players have presented a detailed report today. Since I forgot the name. Mithun. Sorry, Mithun. First of all, I would like to thank you for you and Hartika for playing the supplementary role players today and helping us out throughout the meeting. I request, or maybe my suggestion for Mithun is that if no doubt it's the first role at the professional speaker, if you could add how to improve to reduce the crutch words, that would be great for all the speakers. That is from my end. I think we had a great meeting today. Over to you, President Mukesh Thakur, DTM.
Thank you very much. Can we have a huge round of applause for our general evaluators, all the role players, all the evaluators, all the speakers, and everyone who made this entire meeting successful. Please have a huge round of applause for ourselves. Now, before I come to guests, and I can see there are a few guests who are very religiously following us, and I really am grateful to all of the guests who are present today. There are some cases where a few guests join and they leave us in half an hour or 15 minutes. So I really thank Haritika and Mithun for doing some role in our meeting, and you stayed and committed to the entire meeting. And I can also see Margarita, who is our distinguished guest who loves us and we love her. And we would like to keep her coming and coming in our every meeting. And there are a very great contributions in terms of evaluations and the way she speaks and contributes to the entire meeting. So thank you very much for joining us. And before I could move to receive your feedback, I would like to ask, do you remember how our meeting started? Anyone? With what quote we started the meeting?
Eloquence meet?
No, I started the meeting with a quote. Anyway, you just keep thinking.
I'm missing my notes right now. Sorry.
Yeah, did you do the FIR?
Oh no, I'll do that right away.
Okay, so let's hear from our guest, starting with Mithun.
Hi. So primarily, I received that text on WhatsApp, and I was intrigued to know more about the agile process and the product development. That was the reason I joined this meeting. And I'll say that it was really knowledgeable, and I got to understand a lot about the agile process and how it's used in the larger organizations, especially with the personalized customization that was done by Jolie on the way that she handled certain things and the approaches that she took. I really loved the entire meeting. It was really smooth and it was great. And just to tell, I've been has been almost more than a year since I joined an online meeting or any Toastmasters meeting. So yeah, this will be my first meeting in like more than a year.
Thank you very much. Margarita, I would like to hear from you.
So thank you very much. I first have to apologize that At some point in time, I had to disable video because I have a dog and she is the epitome of a princess. So if she just slightly makes a noise, I'm running because I'm concerned that something happens to her. So I apologize for that and for getting disconnected. It was a great meeting. I have moved some family commitments because I was interested in the power talk, in the topic of it. That was really, I wanted to know what is the Indian view on the topic, because for sure there are differences between countries. Yes, and otherwise I really enjoyed the meeting. I really enjoyed to meet you all. To those of you who are still competing, all the best. Yes, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much. So members and guests, we started with our meeting with the quote that if you love your work, you don't have to work any day in your life. Yeah, you remember that. Anyway, today meeting was a bit challenging for all of us because two of our members were engaged in the final of ISC contests, the district contests that are happening just after some time, and three of the members are engaged in some situations at their home. So I was thinking that how the meeting will go and whether it will be fine or not. Still, the presence of a few members at professional speakers makes the entire meeting go unaffected, and kudos for all of you. Can you have a huge round of applause for all of you and all the guests who contributed to make this meeting successful? So thank you very much for everything that you did today. And as I always say, we are not concluding this meeting. We are starting our next meeting because every meeting is not our workplace for the entire meeting. For the entire members of professional speakers is not only meeting. Our workplace is every day, every time we prepare for our professional speaking, for our commitments inside the meeting and outside the meeting. Hence, let's gear up for our next meeting, because our next meeting starts now. Thank you very much. And now I am putting this live stream